All right, here we are for round 3. We're currently 0-2. I'd like to remind you the cards in this stream are brought to you by Card Hoarder. So if you have any Magic Online needs, you should check out Card Hoarder, the best bot chain in the business. So I usually don't really like keeping 4-land hands in this deck, but I've got a turn 2 Angler with a Disruption spell on the play. So I think I'm going to keep this. We got 2 Faithless Lootings in the deck also that can kind of like sift through this. I haven't really had any problems with the lootings, and I don't really know if I've missed Serum Visions. I have like the baubles. Okay, explaining it's Hallowed. So this is just a pretty easy Goblin lore, and we're just going to hope that my opponent doesn't find anything very good off their draw step plus this Street Wraith. They might just play Flame Blade Adept, yeah. Okay. It's alright, we're going to get on the battlefield here. Wow, that's a pretty good draw. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we're just going. I think we have to play the Angler. Okay, so there's the looting, which is going to be good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can actually fetch a basic land, kind of protect my life total a little bit, because I'm not going to be able to block this thing. Then we'll play Blood Crypts. I might Thoughtseize before. I'll probably not Thoughtseize before looting. I should loot first, excuse me, because then I can figure out what I have in my hand and what I want to do. So there's the Tarn. They drew the Tarn. It's odd they showed me the Tarn. Probably just misclicked on the land they wanted. So you find a Burning Inquiry or a... What'd you find? So here's Goblin Lore. A Collective Brutality. Okay, so this is just to get their Hallowed in play. So they ditched all their cards. They're going to crack me for 4. And they took my Thoughtseize. Oh, that makes sense. I wonder if they have something to protect. Okay, Snapcaster Mage is decent. So we're going to play this. I think I'm going to get rid of these 2 here, and I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. I'm going to figure out if they kept anything in here. Because they like a looting effect kills me next turn. Or could kill me. So I'm just going to cast this. We'll be able to flash Snapcaster Mage in to deal with this Flame Blade Adept. Okay, nasty. That's good. It's a good hit. And now we're just going to hold off here. Probably take, at least, hopefully only take 1 point from this Flame Blade Adept. Need to find a Death Shadow. Yep, so they get in for 1. The Snapcaster can also flash back Faithless Looting for just its mana cost, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of a fan of playing this Snapcaster Mage and flashing back Faithless Looting. Because if my opponent just attacks with Hallowed, like I have to block Hallowed no matter what. So if they just attack with Hallowed and Flameblade Adept next turn, then I just don't block the Flameblade Adept and don't do anything to this Hallowed. I don't think there's a lot of value off of this Snap flashing in this Flameblade or to block this. I think I'd rather just get a little bit more value out of my Snapcaster Mage. And this just lets me get a 2-1 into play, which is important against this Menace card. Even though I could just flash this back normally, I think it's important to get on the board here. Okay, so let's get rid of these. We have an answer to this Hallowed, or just a creature. And again, if my opponent just attacks with both, then I'll just block the Hallowed. Or probably full Retail Dismember. Something like a, whatever it is really bad. A Flamewake Phoenix, Bloodghast. Bloodghast doesn't kill me. Just go block, block. Bloodghast is actually a pretty interesting draw for my opponent. Yeah, so I'm just going to get in here with this Angler. Dismember probably on anything. Land's nice because if I find a Snapcaster, I can snap the Battle Rage. Okay, so now I have to kill this thing. That was actually tough because now it cuts me off a turn. So that might not. That's probably was not the right thing to do. But here we are. All right. Well, we hit a looting, but we can't do anything with our looting. Scoop it up. Okay. All right, so on the play against this deck, I like having all of my Stubborn Denials in. I don't like this Fatal Push on the play. I don't really like Snapcaster Mage in this deck. Like, this deck seems much lower to the ground, and it doesn't really... It just doesn't seem like a very good Snapcaster Mage deck. Like, you don't really want to play that long. Like, maybe like 3 would be good. I guess I can keep 1 in. Keep my Lightning Bolt in because they can kill the little guy on the play, and they can kill the Flame Blade Adept on the play. Or they can kill the Flame Blade Adept, excuse me, and they can kill the Phoenixes. All my commands. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of a Snapcaster Mage. I don't really want to play... I don't want to play very long against a deck with Bloodghast. All right, we'll keep this hand. I'm going to cycle on 1 because we could hit some action or another land in order to play with our Bobble. Leyline of the Void. Okay. So that shuts off our Gurmy Boy, which is good to know. That probably means more Snapcaster Mages or Gurmag Anglers are going to be coming out after sideboard. Okay. They have a Blackleaf Cliffs coming off the top. And they put that on top on their own. Turn 1 land on the void. They put a card on the bottom. All right, Bloodstained Mire is good. Bloodstained Mire means we got turn 2 Death Shadow. All right. I think I'm actually going to leave that because one of their main pieces of interaction is Lightning Bolt, and I don't want to just bolt that thing and have them bolt my Death Shadow. I'd much rather hold the Drawing Fatal Push. Oh, that changes everything. So now I'm likely to just bolt this. The Fatal Push definitely puts a chink in the armor. So let's just pass. Okay, looting's actually pretty good here as it gets rid of Gurmag Angler. All right, I'm definitely just going to Lightning Bolt one of these now. And then next turn I'll end up K-commanding the other one going upstairs. Hopefully they just ditch their... well, both of those are going away. We're going to have a good turn, but hopefully they just ditch their Fatal Push. There's no reason for them to ditch their Fatal Push, I think. I think that'd be just an egregious oversight from them. But we got no pressure. We're at 9. This could be bad because it's like a free Bloodghast. It's a Blackleaf Cliffs. So we know about Fatal Push X. Then we want to draw like Stubborn Denial, because we can play Shadow, have Denial. And they're still a ways off from Angler. Okay, it's going to get them closer to Angler. Now they actually can Angler. So they draw it, we're in trouble. Okay, there's the clock. All right, this is our worst land here. All right, so I actually don't have enough land, so we're just going to get rid of both of these. They're not castable. So now it's all about just show me a second Fatal Push. Burning Inquiry. Okay. So we have Thoughtseize left. I milled Death Shadow land. So I think I'm going to Thoughtseize them. I could hit like a wheel effect. Not a wheel, a discard outlet. I could hit a Gurmag Angler. Especially now that we drew that Death Shadow. Okay, land, that's all right. And I am going to fetch Shock here to make it so both my Death Shadows are lethal next turn. Actually, I didn't even check to see if I have another Shock land. I do, though. So my opponent doesn't have a 4-drop spell. Doesn't have a 2-mana spell that deals 4 damage to me. No, I guess they get a Fatal Push. If they draw Push here, I'm dead. So that was something I did not think about. Goblin Lore. I think they should have held their land. That was a misplay by me. I should have. I guess it's close because like this gives them 1 draw. If I just go for it, if I hold them both back, then they have 2 draw steps minimum. These Abrades should be in my deck. Excuse me. I'm not used to playing with Abrades. I'm just gonna cut 1 Gurm. I'm gonna cut 2 Gurmag Anglers. Keep these Snapcasters in. I'm not used to playing with Abrades, so didn't notice it was in my sideboard. It's not a card that I commonly play with, but I have been. I've played 3 leagues with Friedman's deck, and Abrade has been one of my cyber card I'm much higher on. I think I'm on the draw. I've got a Thought Scour. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. My opponent mulligan though. It's very threat dense. I have a way to kill Hollow One. 2 ways to kill Hollow Ones. I'm not that bad to Burning Inquiry, and I can deal with a Deuter. I should have also sideboarded out. Excuse me. I should have also sideboarded out a Stubborn Denial for a Fatal Push when on the draw. I think I'm going to mulligan. I think it's just a better decision to do that. And this is what we mull into. I guess I go down to 5. Oh, my opponent did as well. All right, we'll keep this. Yeah, I definitely made a mistake. I should have sideboarded differently. I don't think we want this. Though the Stubborn Denial is going to be good, but I think we just want a threat. Like Stub's usually good if they don't have the turn 1, but they got the turn 2, it's good. I guess I could have kept it because of how many redraws I had at a land or a threat, but okay. All right, now we're just going to get a Watery Grave, Thought Scour myself. I really like Leyline of the Void out of this deck. I would like to save my Dismember for like a bigger creature, and I'd like to K-command this. So what do we have on top? We'll do the Bobble trick. We have another Bobble. I don't need another one. There's no 2-mana piece of interaction that I'm going to want to play here, so I think I'm just going to get this tapped. We're going to be able to do enough damage to ourselves. Okay, so there's our boy. Still just going to K command up, probably shock Return to Death Shadow, because they have. I don't want to make them discard a card. It could be like a Flame Wake Phoenix or a Bloodghast. That's actually a pretty good draw because next turn I can go Return Shadow, deal with this, Return Shadow, discard spell, double Shadow, make them 5/5s. And depending how big this thing gets, I might just take a shot from it also. Faithless Looting. So yeah, we're definitely going to kill it now. Hopefully my opponent plays a pre-combat hollow one. Bloodghast, okay. All right, here comes the Bloodghast. The Bloodghast is haste. So deal 2 damage, return, target creature, return Death Shadow. So we're going to be able to brick wall this Bloodghast forever. There's a chance I could definitely one-shot my opponent, okay? Between... Okay, let's start off with a discard spell. Boom, 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 boom. So I kind of actually want to take this Collective Brutality. I want to take this Brutality, play both my Death Shadows, go to 6, pass. They Goblin Lore. And then we're threatening to kill them on the next turn. Because if I take this Brutality and then I have to dismember something, if I take Goblin Lore and I have to Brutality, because I'm likely going to have to dismember this Gurmag Angler or this Hollow one, and that puts me in chance for this Brutality to kill me. And if they Goblin Lore, they're not really doing a lot with Goblin Lore. Besides maybe putting a Flame Wake Phoenix in their graveyard. So this is kind of tough. They don't have any more. I kind of really just want to take this Brutality. I want to take Brutality, shock to 6, double Death Shadow, they're 7/7s. Larger than both of these. And then I can dismember going to 2. And then my opponent... But then this thing right here is a problem. I think if I'm going to cast the Dismember, I can't leave with them with this Brutality. And I could not shock myself. But I think I want to give myself the option to Dismember. Okay, that's what they drew. No, they had that in their hand. They had that in their hand. Okay. No, they didn't. They drew that. They drew like double Gurmag Angler. This is going to get tough. Okay, so they're going for the Goblin Lore. So they ditch their Terminate. So they still have the Angler. So here comes Land Angler. Well, they probably just get a free roll attack in. They're not going to play Angler. That's crazy. My opponent just conceded. I don't really know why they conceded, but that's okay with us. We'll be back here for round 4.